Spoilers, I will be covering stuff about later episodes in One Piece, in the anime, and or in the manga, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would recommend clicking off of the video. Hello you lovely cups, it's the Dragon Lord here, and today is the first part of What If Luffy Had the Rinnegan. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. The story starts with a band of pirates arriving at a small village. These pirates being the red-haired pirates, of course. The mayor of the town greets them, asking them if they are here to do harm. The captain, Shanks, walks up and says that they will be here for a while, but that they won't cause any damage or harm to anybody. After their conversation, the pirates feast at the tavern, drinking and eating away. As the pirates keep partying, a young boy walks through the doors. Confused on why the tavern is so full, the boy asks, "What's going on here?" Shanks answers with a sincere, "We are having a feast, kid, but aren't you a little too young to be in here?" As Makino yells out, "Luffy, where were you?" The red-haired pirate would ask, "Is this kiddo a friend of yours?" She would answer with a sincere face, "I'm his caretaker for the time being." Shanks would ask the kid if he would like to join them. Of course Luffy would have a rumbling stomach. They would accept in no time. They feast all day long until the tavern is out of stock. Very quickly Luffy gets intrigued by the pirates and wants to become one. He asks if he can join Shanks on his adventures. But Shanks refuses, saying that Luffy is too young. Beside that fact, the two really bond quickly and Shanks sees Luffy as a friend. 5 days or so go by. Of the same. Pirates are feasting away while Luffy gets to hear a lot of stories from Shanks that really inspire him to set sail one day. The 6th day, Shanks leaves on another journey and says goodbye to Luffy and the others. After a week or so goes by, Garp actually visits Luffy again and trains him in the mountains, where he lets the apes basically beat up Luffy. He makes the training more rigorous than in canon. Garp stops the apes after a while and tells Luffy you have to train harder to become a Navy Marine, but Luffy scoffs at this, saying that he wants to become a pirate like Shanks. Garp of course punishes Luffy for saying that he wants to become a pirate, but stops punishing him after a while. Garp leaves again. Another week or so goes by and Shanks actually returns. He has a cool looking box with him that Luffy instantly notices, but he decides not to ask questions. Luffy then wants to show Shanks that he's brave, and cuts under his own eye. Shanks and the others call him an idiot, and then after calming down they go to the tavern. At the tavern, Luffy tries to convince Shanks to take him out to sea, but Shanks makes fun of Luffy, calling him an anchor. Luffy tries to back up his own strength by saying that his punches are like pistols. Shanks answers this by calling Luffy a kid. While Luffy is arguing that he isn't a kid, Shanks tricks him into drinking orange juice. Luffy drinks it and Shanks immediately makes fun of him, saying, "What kind of pirate or adult drinks orange juice?" Luffy gets mad about this, but drops it and just enjoys his orange juice. When all of a sudden, the door of the tavern comes flying off and a set of mountain bandits walk in. They demand 10 barrels of sake, but Makino tells them that they just ran out of booze. Shanks apologizes, saying that they drank the place dry, and offers the mountain bandit leader a bottle of booze, but he breaks it, splashing it all over Shanks. He tells Shanks that he shouldn't be taken lightly, he has an 8 million berry bounty. Shanks ignores. He tries to clean up the mess. The bandit leader slashes the entire counter, making a comment about cleaning. The mountain bandits leave, and the entire pirate crew just starts laughing. Luffy gets angry and says, "Why are you all laughing? And that was so uncool, why didn't you fight him? And that you're not a man or a pirate if you laugh after something like that." Shanks understands Luffy, but gives him some really good advice. His advice ends up resonating with Luffy later on. Luffy gets grumpy about this and starts eating these two weird fruits. He chows down on these two purple fruits. He first takes a bite out of this one with waves on it, and then he takes a bite out of this weird one with circles. Decides the first one was better, and fully eats the fruit. Shanks sees this and tells him to spit it out. He holds Luffy upwards and upside down, blocking his view of the box. Luffy is confused and asks him, why? Shanks replies with, because that fruit you just ate is a devil fruit. It will give you special powers but take away your ability to swim. And the fruit you just ate is the Gum Gum fruit. It will turn your entire body into rubber. He says this while Luffy stretches down, hitting his face on the floor. One of Shanks' men point out that the other fruit has gone missing too. Shanks sits Luffy up straight and asks him if he ate both fruits. Luffy replies with yes, and asks if that's a problem. Shanks tells him that eating 2 of these devil fruits will result in death. As he said this, Luffy's eyes would actually disappear. He would cough up blood and fall over. Body becomes extremely pale, as all of the pirates just look on in horror. Shanks checks for a pulse, but there's nothing. Shanks actually sheds a tear because he really liked Luffy as a friend. Akino would also start crying because this person who, like her son, just died in front. When all of a sudden, a light gets emitted from Luffy's body. He starts floating upwards. A massive pulse can be felt all over the East Blue. As Luffy stands up, they're looking at Shanks with purple eyes. Luffy asks, why are you crying, Shanks? Shanks is astounded. The boy he thought was dead was standing there alive, but his eyes are so different. Shanks asks Luffy if he is still rubber, which Luffy shows that he is. Shanks is immediately interested in Luffy's new abilities, but decides it's best to test them later, or another. 2 weeks or so go by and Luffy actually trains with his grandpa again, but this time he beats the monkeys, even the gorilla. Garp is astounded by this because a 7-year-old boy beat a martial arts trained gorilla that some marines have trouble with. Garp starts laughing and says, my boy, you will be a great marine. But Luffy gets mad at this and instantly replies with, I'm gonna become a pirate. Garp tries to punch Luffy while saying this is all that Red Hair's fault. But Luffy actually dodges the punch pretty casually. Garp is interested in this, decides he will leave for now. He tells Luffy to train that ability. Another 2 days pass and Luffy's roaming around town, overhearing some bandits speak. He gets really mad at what they are saying and starts cursing at them. They don't take this lightly and take Luffy. Makino instantly goes to get help from the mayor, who says that they should get Shanks. A little while later, Shanks and his crew arrive at the plaza. They see a bunch of mountain bandits passed out on the ground and Luffy actually fighting with the leader, but Luffy is using a sword. Shanks is actually interested in this, seeing how strong Luffy is and how quickly he is learning to use a sword. So they keep watching him, but eventually after 4 minutes or so, the bandits that were knocked out wake up and attack Luffy. Luffy's sword breaks and Luffy gets captured by the leader of the bandit. Shanks steps in and his first mate takes down a lot of bandits. The leader escapes using a smoke bomb. On a rowboat, the bandit leader is about to throw Luffy in the water, and as he does, instead of actually falling in the water, Luffy just floats on it. Luffy notices that he can't fall in the water and that he's actually walking on the water. But then the guardian of the coastal area comes out and eats the bandit leader. He then tries to attack Luffy. Shanks is about to go help Luffy, but he notices something with Luffy. Luffy screams no, as he accidentally uses Conqueror's Haki. Of course, because he ate the Rinnegan no Mi, he has insane amount of Haki/chakra, which when he used his Conqueror's Haki, it was so strong that it killed the Guardian instantly. After using this though, Luffy passes out and gets saved by Shanks. Shanks does not lose his arm and is actually impressed by Luffy's strength. Luffy wakes up and then the same day, Shanks and his crew are gonna set sail. Luffy goes to say goodbye and asks if he could come with them. Shanks tells Luffy that he doesn't want a kid aboard. Luffy gets agitated and screams that he will become a pirate, but not any pirate. He screams that he will become the king of the pirates, which Shanks says, I believe you can do it, which leaves Luffy in quite the shock. That gives the boy motivation to train. Shanks gives his straw hat to Luffy and tells him one day When you become a great pirate, I want you to return this to me. Before Shanks leaves, he looks towards a crew member of the ship and tells him to get that out. The crew member just says "sir," which surprises everyone, as they have never seen the crew so serious. The crewmate brings out what looks to be a sword, but it's cloaked in a purple cloth, with sealing written over it. Shanks gives it to him, saying this is the strongest blade in existence. My griffin is based on it. It's a sword that took years to forge. Use it well, Luffy. If you can wield it, you may give it a name, he said. Luffy uncloaks it and grabs the blade. Shanks instantly notices that he does not resent it. Shanks tells Luffy